Welcome to this course on developing custom themes using WordPress. I want to thank you for taking the time to jump into this course. I really think you're going to get a lot out of this. So here's what we're going to cover in this course. We're going to learn how to build powerful web applications with complete control over the user interface. That means the look and the feel of the actual website. We're also going to learn about the key features of WordPress, and we're going to dig into the code that makes WordPress work behind the scenes. So in other words, we're going to take a look at WordPress from the perspective of a web developer. Here are some of the skills you're going to walk away with after you complete this course. Number one, you're going to walk away with the ability to build your own custom WordPress themes and applications from scratch. You're also going to learn the best practices so that when you build your site, you're going to build it the way a professional developer would build it. And you're also going to walk away with an understanding of the PHP code that makes WordPress work behind the scenes. I think these skills are useful for a few reasons. Number one, WordPress is widely used. According to Wikipedia, as of 2016, more than a quarter of the top 10 million websites use WordPress. And in fact, out of the entire internet, about a quarter of all websites use WordPress, and that's more than 60 million websites. So the skills are definitely relevant. Number two, I think it's worth mentioning that WordPress developer jobs are in pretty high demand and they pay well. The national average, according to simplyhired.com, which is a popular job search engine, is $65,000. And you can also see that the salary ranges can be anywhere from $40,000 all the way to over $116,000. A search for WordPress developer jobs at simplyhired.com returns over 15,000 search results. These results are just from one of the job search engines, and I'm going to point you to a number of other ones that you can check out as well. I think most importantly, however, these skills are useful because being a web developer is really fulfilling. Being a programmer today is very different than it used to be. I think it's a lot more creative now and a lot more collaborative. I like to tell my students that programmers are modern day artisans. You know, if you think about it, historically artisans were people who built things like pottery or did carpentry, and they really built things and crafted things with their bare hands. And that's what a programmer is today. The difference is you're building software with your bare hands. And today we're spending more and more time on our software and on our devices like smartphones and computers, and our children are going to spend far more time on these devices. So if you think about it, programmers are building the world around us. So I think it's important to talk about how fulfilling web development is because it really changed my career and improved my lifestyle. And I really want to motivate people who are interested in learning to code. With these skills, I've been lucky enough to build web applications for companies like Coca-Cola, Toyota, Newell Rubbermaid, Bennigan's, Getaround. And when I was learning to code, I was really frustrated with the quality of the training material that was available. So I've become really passionate about teaching programming, and I've gone on to teach over 25,000 students worldwide in 150 countries. I'm also an instructor at General Assembly, which is one of the world's leading web developer boot camps. I'm incredibly passionate about teaching, and I like to take a very conversational style when I teach, almost like a friend walking you through the content, as opposed to a lecture that's kind of boring and mundane. I also like to repeat key concepts over and over just so that when you walk out of the course, you really have a comprehensive understanding of what's important, what you really need to pay attention to. The best way to learn to code is to learn by doing. So we're going to write code and build along the way as we learn some key concepts. Here's a quick summary of some of the main things we're going to build. Number one, we're going to learn how to set up your computer, which will be really easy so you can get started coding immediately. We're going to learn about the minimum set of files needed on your server to build a WordPress site from scratch. We're going to cover the PHP code that does the WordPress loop. That's how you kind of display content from your database. We're going to learn about the boilerplate HTML that's necessary for our site to be valid. We're going to learn about the Twitter Bootstrap framework, which makes it easy to build layouts and kind of move things around on the web page, and our sites are going to look really good really easily. We're also going to learn about partials so that we can organize our code properly using best practices on the server. We're also going to learn about plugin API hooks that are very much necessary for a valid WordPress theme. We're going to learn how to create dynamic navigation menus so that you can just dive into the WordPress admin section and decide how you want your navigation menu to look. We're also going to use best practices and learn how to use the functions file and learn how to do things like loading third-party scripts. We're also going to create custom page templates for the different post types. We're going to learn how to add comments. We're going to learn how to do pagination. We're going to learn how to add custom fonts. And we're also going to learn how to read the WordPress documentation so that you can build your own WordPress sites without feeling intimidated. You'll be able to go out on your own and reach into their documentation and read and understand what these PHP functions mean. I know that sounds like a mouthful, but I think you're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to build a lot. And I can't wait to see you inside.